One of my favorite targets in the 2026 class is cut down his list, and the Tar Heels make the cut. But it is going to be stiff competition for his services.
This is Tyler Hansbrough, and you're listening to Locked On Tar Heels.
You are Locked On Tar Heels, your daily podcast on the UNC Tar Heels. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey there, what's up? It's Monday, July 14th, 2025. Welcome into the Locked On Tar Heels podcast, the only daily North Carolina show out there. I'm your host, Isaac Shade. You're joining me at the place to get your Tar Heels content every single day. It's all part of the Locked On Podcast Network. I want to thank you sincerely for making us your first listener watch to kick off your brand new week. This episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Special shout out to all the everydayers here with us, all the members of the Locked On Tar Heels Discord, and our Locked On Tar Heels insiders. If you want to be one of the Locked On Tar Heels Discord members, that link is in the show notes, man. It's a great group. We're hanging out all summer long. Still great conversations happening. Come hang out. All right, y'all, it is a jam-packed show today. It was just one of those weekends where there were like a ton of nuggets and things going on. It's nice to have a flurry of that in the summer because we don't often have it. So jam-packed show, so jam-packed in fact, that I'm going to have to wait till tomorrow's show to get to NCAA tournament expansion news or lack thereof that came late in the week last week. So if you're looking for that, we'll tackle that in depth tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I wanted to hit it today, but too much other stuff that was more directly Carolina related. So I wanted to get to that first. So the things we will be talking about then today: basketball recruiting. Heels make the top 7 for a prized recruit. They get official visit scheduled with 2 others. Summer League updates, including a curious social media choice by Carolina. ACC kickoff is coming. Is Carolina making some hints at QB1 by who they're taking to that? We got dates of ACC tip-off, more football commits coming to town, and MLB draft updates. It started on Sunday evening. So like I said, jam-packed show means we got to get to it. Let's hit it. Miikka Muurinen, one of my absolute hands down favorite players in the entire 2026 basketball class. He's not number 1. He's not currently considered for number 1, but he is an elite 5-star prospect, great size. His mom played at Carolina. Hello. And he can do a little bit of everything. He can run, he can shoot. I love his game. Well, Joe Tipton tweeted out, when was this? I need to go back and look at when this tweet actually came out so we can timestamp it a little bit here. July 11th in the mid-morning hours. The 11th was Friday. So kind of a Friday news dump, I guess it was. But he said that Miikka Muurinen, has cut down to a top 7. And I know a lot of people, it's like, oh man, let me know when he's down to a top 4 and he's going to commit. I hear that. But with a player like this, because remember, Carolina goes all in on a whole bunch of elite dudes, but there's a couple of them that I always have my eye on, and Muurinen has been one of them for a long time now that I just, boy, I would love to have him. The problem for Carolina, and for all, not just Carolina, but all of the schools on this list, is in a lot of ways, this is a who's who of college basketball recruiting. And so Carolina is going to have to fend off and fight off all comers, all NIL stuff, all rev share stuff, and win out. And hopefully, like Jarin Stevenson coming home, Mama playing at Carolina will have some pull for him. So without much further ado, to use a Derek Zoolander quote, here are the 7 schools, including the Tar Heels: Kentucky, Michigan, NC State, and Will Wade. Is this going to become more of a thing? I hope so, because I would love to beat up on them. Arkansas and John Calipari, Duke, and Indiana. Again, Carolina, Kentucky, Duke, Michigan, NC State, Arkansas, and Indiana. I mean, that's a big-time list. Kentucky and their former coach are both on it. NC State, Will Wade's going to be a player in these recruitments now, so I think start getting used to seeing NC State on more lists like this, unlike previous times. That is a thing. So that's a unique angle on it as well. But with Miikka, who has 3 different doubles in his first and last name, Miikka, the I's, the K's, and the U's in Muurinen. So, man, it's all over the place. I'm dead serious. Go watch film on this dude and tell me you do not love what he does. And don't just watch highlights, watch a full game and then just get amped. I mean, like, to be honest, yes, his mom played for Carolina. In a lot of ways, he feels like the type of player that in the Calipari at Kentucky era feels like he winds up at Duke or Kentucky. Will that happen? Or with new coaches at both Duke and Kentucky, will things change? I don't know. Duke's still been raking them in under John Shire. Mark Pope has proven he can still get them at Kentucky. John Calipari is obviously still getting them down at Arkansas, an hour and a half south of me. Michigan and Dusty May are players in a lot of stuff now. Indiana under their new coach, Darren DeVries, who comes over from West Virginia, and Drake before that. Indiana obviously wants to get their way back to the elite status of college basketball. So again, there's nobody on this list, yes, NC State included, that you look at and it's like, I don't think they can land him, man. That's not true at all. I could make a case and an argument for any of these 7 schools. And again, in this day and age, keep in mind, it's not just about who can win because of personality, or I love this place and my mom went here in our case, or, whatever it is. Money is such a driving factor. And you got to look at all these facets. Hey, what is your rev share model at your school, right? Like, that's a massive part of these conversations now. How much is allocated to your basketball team? How much would be allocated to me? And these are the types of conversations that are going to be ongoing. NIL is still part of it. However, now because of NIL Go, remember the thing that has to, like if you have a third-party NIL offer that is $600 or more, it has to be approved by NIL Go. And so like there are more parameters around that now, but that's all part of these conversations. So obviously Carolina and Miikka will hopefully have some of those. Great to see him including Carolina in his top 7. Hopefully Hubert Davis and company can land an official visit. As a reminder, this is several years old now, but official visits are not limited anymore. So we will keep our eyes on Miikka Muurinen, certainly, because good grief, I think he would be a difference maker at Carolina. 2 other bits of news are some official visits that have been set. Hopefully we get one from Muurinen, but 2 others that we did already get. One of them is Darren Rippey in the class. These are both 26 guys as well. And we knew about this one. I just haven't talked about it on the show yet. Rippey has set, at least as of this recording, the ones we know about, there are 4 visits he's got incoming. I'll tell you them chronologically. Heading to Lexington, Kentucky, August 1st through 3rd. Then coming to Carolina, August 31st, Alabama, September 13th, and Texas, September 19th. That would put Darren Rippey at Carolina, I believe, for the first football game, because I think Labor Day is early this year. I don't have this all in my head yet. August 31st, yes. That's the Sunday, the day before the TCU game. So Darren Rippey will be here when Tony Bryant is at Carolina as well. That's great news. And then for Taj Ariza, we talked about him recently on the show, Trevor Ariza's son. Obviously, there are going to be multiple West Coast teams around in his recruitment, but the 3 official visits that are currently scheduled are Oregon on September 6th, flying east to Carolina on September 12th, back west to USC on September 20th. Also, somewhere there will be a Texas official visit, but that has not been scheduled yet. So date TBD, but that plans to happen. So again, as I always say, Carolina shoots their shot with all these elite guys, which all 3 of these are, just as a reminder. And you are not banking on getting even close to half of them. You are legitimately trying to get 1 to 2 of these, maybe 3 in a crazy kind of year, but trying to just scatter a whole bunch of seed and see what sticks. And so legitimately Muurinen, good night, man. I would love to have him, but same with Ariza and Rippey as well. So we'll keep tabs on all this recruiting for 2026 as we're still doing stuff for 2025, and we'll come back around to all that. Now, sticking with basketball and some former Tar Heels, official summer league started late last week, and Carolina's social media post of the Tar Heel representation received a little bit of backlash, we'll say. Plus, did the football staff tip their hand as to quarterback one? I'll explain all of that coming up in just a second. Right after I tell you about game time. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head over to the ball game with friends or family? Man, it's just like sometimes you get a hankering. It's like, I want to go sit in the stands and take in 9 and see what happens. Well, yeah, maybe it's today. It's game. Well, it can't be game day today because there's no games today. It's the All-Star game, or excuse me, home run derby today. But you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands, and that's exactly where game time comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last-minute tickets without all the stress you typically have to deal with. And with the money you save on those tickets, you can splurge on things like food, drinks, merch, even invite a bigger group to come along with you. Game Time makes it possible. Game Time also makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes all the worry out of buying. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB, making it easy to browse the app for exciting upcoming MLB games. Speaking of which, tomorrow is the All-Star game. And as I said last week, and as we said in this read already, tickets are going to come down the closer you get to first pitch. And this is proof of it. All-Star game tickets have gone down from last week's low price of $302 to $272. Today is the lowest I can find as I record this. So seriously, proof of concept. Wait till it gets closer to first pitch, snatch them up. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Terms do apply. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. NBA official summer league is now going on, right? We had kind of had the preambles with the California Classic and the Salt Lake, whatever's going on there. They had a day off last Wednesday, and then things like the official NBA summer league started last Thursday out in Vegas. Carolina basketball Twitter puts out a graphic which has the face and teams of 9 different former Tar Heels. Those players are, I think maybe this is alphabetical order: Armando Bacot with the Grizzlies, Leaky Black with the Wizards, Garrison Brooks with the Pistons, RJ Davis Lakers, Harrison Ingram Spurs, Justin McCoy Trailblazers, Pete Nance and Cormac Ryan both with the Bucks, and Drake Powell, who's not playing, as we talked about previously, with the Nets. And this is really cool. It's like, wow, Justin McCoy, way to go. Didn't expect that, but that's awesome. Like, it's cool to see all these dudes' names, whether they were a 4 or 5 year Tar Heel, like Armando, like RJ, like Leaky, for example, or just a 1 year guy, like a Pete Nance or a Cormac Ryan, or guys that played the majority of their career at Carolina, like Garrison Brooks, Caleb Love, not on the list. And this is where Carolina got a lot of backlash. Caleb Love was not on this list. And it's kind of a weird thing because it's like, well, I mean, of course, he left and went to Arizona, so he's not on the list. Well, Garrison Brooks went to Mississippi State. He's on the list. Okay. So there's all these, people in our Discord. By the way, again, join the Locked On Tar Heels Discord. Free to join. The links in the show notes. We're talking about different reasons. Somebody suggested, hey, maybe it's people that actually earned a degree from Carolina, while those that aren't on the list didn't. And so because it's not just Caleb, it's Kerwin Walton's not on the list. He's playing for Oklahoma City Thunder. Dawson Garcia not on the list. He's playing for the Detroit Pistons. So there's just this interesting thing. So why isn't Caleb on the list? Unless it's because I don't think he got his degree. So maybe that is indeed a thing. But I'm of the opinion, you just want to be consistent with this thing. I would say include everybody, or only include guys who finished their collegiate career at Carolina, something. But whatever it is, just be consistent. This seems inconsistent. I would imagine, there's no way that they just plumb forgot. Let's rule that out right now. There has to be some rhyme or reason to why the social media department did what they did with this. I don't know that we'll ever know why. But if we don't know why, it's not a good look to not have Caleb Love on there. To the point that Armando Bacot, who probably could have gone and asked, like, hey, what's going on? Where's Caleb on this thing? Took to Instagram on the Carolina post of this. It wasn't just on Twitter, it was on Instagram, and literally in the comments said to Carolina, delete this and put C Love. So it's like, oof, you got other Carolina alums barking back about it. And so either there's not a rhyme or reason, Armando doesn't know what it is, or Armando didn't reach out to ask. It's just all around not a good look. And so the thing for me is there just needs to be some level of uniformity or rhyme or reason why it is the way it is. And so I wish Carolina would come out and be transparent. In fact, I haven't looked back at either the Twitter post or the Instagram post. Maybe there was a follow-up. I need to go look at that just to make sure. But man, I didn't like this. I think this was a bad look, and I would love to see them add Caleb, as Armando suggested they should do. Well, as we record this, Sunday night is when I'm recording. I'm not going to go through all the performances, but let me just name a couple standouts through the first 4 days of it. And on Thursday, two I want to point out, both from the Bucks, were Pete Nance and Cormac Ryan. Pete had 13 points, 4 of 9 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 3 of 5 from the free throw line, 7 boards, 4 assists, 3 turnovers, a steal, and a block. Great stuff. Cormac Ryan tied for the team lead, 18 points, 6 of 11 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3, 3 of 3 at the free throw line, 2 assists, a turn, and a steal. Great performances from both those guys. And then on Friday, Armando Bacot for the Grizzlies, 14 points, 7 of 13 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3. He's been hitting them, but not that night. 6 boards, 2 assists, 2 turns, and a block. Caleb Love, the aforementioned, playing for the Blazers, 18 points, 7 of 16 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3, 6 boards, 2 assists, 2 turns, and a steal. On Saturday, how about some more Pete Nance love? 12 points, 5 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, 4 boards and assists, no turns, a steal, and 3 blocks. Pete Nance, my guy, that's crazy. Harrison Ingram that same day, 4 points on 2 of 8 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, but he did add 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and just 1 turn. RJ Davis on the Lake Show, 9 points, 3 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, 2 boards, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, and a steal. I feel like in a lot of ways, that's where RJ could potentially find himself in the NBA long-term, is if he's not only able to shoot, but to distribute at a high level while not turning it over. And then how about Armando again? 14 points, 4 of 9 from the field, 6 of 6 at the free throw line, 12 boards, double-double, just out here doing what he does. 2 assists, a turn, a steal, and 4. Count them, 4 blocks from Armando. That's a great game. And then on Sunday, Leaky for the Wizards, 9 points, 3 of 3 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, 1 of 2 at the free throw line, 2 boards and assists, a turn, and a steal. And then as we go here, we have the Bucks are in action right now. So again, that's Pete Nance and Cormac Ryan, both in the starting lineup together in this game, I should add. Pete Nance has 15 points. He did have the team lead in points, but he doesn't anymore. 6 of 8 from the field, 1 of 3 threes, 2 of 2 at the free throw line, 6 boards and assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and a turn. Man, Pete Nance, what a summer he's having so far. I can't count the number of times I've said, I really think his issue at Carolina was his back problems. Were it not for that, it's like this kind of stuff is what I legitimately think we would have been seeing. Cormac just having an okay night, 6 points, 2 of 9 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3, a board, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a turn. So really helping out as a distributor. He's so good at like finding ways to help benefit a team, even when he's not hitting so good stuff there. Now, the other point I wanted to get to was ACC kickoff representation and some things what we're learning about, maybe some hinting from Carolina because of who they're taking. What am I being so shrouded in mystery about? I'll explain that coming up in just a second. ACC kickoff is coming up July 22nd through 24th. That's next Tuesday through Thursday. This is like ACC media days for football, basically. Carolina will be there on the 24th, which is a Thursday. They'll be joined by NC State, by Duke, Clemson, BC, and Virginia Tech. And obviously, Coach Belichick will be there. I'm very curious to see what we get out of that. But there's a 4-player lineup going along with him. D-back Thad Dixon, we've talked about him on the show. We love his energy, love his vibes, excited for what he's going to bring to the defense and the secondary. Defensive back Will Hardy, just great to see him continuing to grow and to see what role he will play this year. Wide receiver Jordan Shipp, great stuff for him. And then the 4th member of the contingent, quarterback Gio Lopez. Now, I know there's been a lot of conversation about, all right, Max Johnson seeming to be healthy, ready for camp. Bryce Baker, this incoming stud freshman, we've had him on the show a couple times when he was still in high school. Is there a quarterback battle on the hands? Well, who do you take to moments like this? Team captains, leaders, stud players, whether it's football or basketball, like that's who you take. Like it will be Seth Trimble for basketball, and somebody for that second player. We'll see who that is. But the fact that Gio Lopez is the quarterback going. Remember last year, Carolina took 2 quarterbacks to this event, Max Johnson being one of them. With it just being Gio, that to me is a clear indication about the staff's thoughts, at least right now on July 14th, of who QB1 will be. Could that change? 100%. But as of right now, I think this is a hand tip, a read between the lines moment that Gio Lopez, if the season started today, would be your quarterback. Could he lose it? Yes. Could somebody else take it? Yes. But it's Gio Lopez right now. Also interesting that you've got 2 returning players in Will Hardy and Jordan Shipp and 2 incoming transfers in Gio Lopez and Thad Dixon. Just, hey, that's the times, right? That's where we're at. So speaking of ACC kickoff, we also got the dates for ACC tip-off, which is the men's and women's basketball ACC Media Days. That's going to be October 6th through 8th, which is a Monday through Wednesday in Charlotte. And basically the way they're doing it is you've got those 3 days, and there's an AM, PM session. Each gender has 3 sessions worth. So the women will be Monday AM, Monday PM, Tuesday AM. Carolina's going to be in that middle slot, Monday PM, along with Duke, Florida State, Georgia Tech, SMU, and Virginia. And then the men are going to be Tuesday afternoon and then Wednesday morning and afternoon. Carolina is in that first Tuesday afternoon slot, along with Georgia Tech, Pitt, Stanford, Syracuse, and Wake. So Carolina obviously going to be the biggest draw there. Both Duke and Louisville are the next day. Florida State, Miami, NC State the next day as well. So interesting that Carolina is not really paired with any of the rest of the this is going to be an interesting. So Carolina will get all of the attention, or the vast majority of the attention, on Tuesday afternoon. So really excited for that. Mark your calendars. Obviously, there will be a lot of sound bites from both ACC kickoff and ACC tip-off that we'll want to unpack here on the show. So stay tuned there. As a reminder, one more time, Carolina football ACC kickoff, July 24th, a Thursday, next Thursday, actually, I should say. And then ACC tip-off, the women will be Monday afternoon. That is October 6th. The men will be Tuesday afternoon. That is October 7th. Going back to football now. Remember, I said there's a bunch of tidbits on the show. So much coming at you, but just want to make sure to get it all in. Over the weekend, Carolina got another. This is getting absurd and insane, and it's wild, and I love it. Another football recruit for the class of 2026. They now have 32 in this class. This is linebacker Calvin Thomas, another 4-star. He picked Carolina over Michigan, over Texas, Nebraska, and SMU. He's 6'3", about 215. I accidentally wrote 115 in my notes. That would be a skinny little linebacker. No, he is 215, comes from Texas, from Cypress Cy Ranch High School. This is Carolina's 5th commit of July. Crazy stuff to land that already. He is the 18th ranked linebacker in this class. Lots of interesting and intriguing stuff about him. He's a multi-sport athlete. He runs track. He does hurdles. And so, man, just got to imagine that pursuit's going to be there. Really looking forward to see how the staff can develop him. I don't think we talked about it on the show, but going back to last Wednesday, Calvin Thomas, the linebacker, his commitment follows up 4-star wide receiver Carnell Warren's commitment back on Wednesday. He was initially a Virginia Tech commit, decommitted about a month ago. Carolina gets a visit. Boom, he's a Tar Heel. So overall now for the class of 2026, as I said, 32 commits. The class is up to 18th, at least as I record, at 247. That's nationally. They're up from 20th. They are now 5th in the ACC at 247. And so Carolina in that top 20, would love to keep getting some high-end dudes get up into the top 15, top 10, and just really cement like, yes, as we've been saying, it's not the 25 class, both high school or portal class, that will define Bill Belichick's ability to come to college and do stuff. It's really going to be the 26 and maybe even into the 27 class. It's like, oh, here's what this dude can do. So we're keeping our eyes on this class quite particularly. So 6 4-stars now, with Carnell Warren coming in and Calvin Thomas. They make 5 and 6. The other guys are Xavion Griffin-Haynes and edge, Travis Burgess, the highly touted quarterback, Trayshawn Ruffin, defensive lineman, and then the highest rated player in this class is Red Chapman, the wide receiver. We talked about him on the show a week or two ago. Great stuff there. Want to wrap by mentioning MLB draft. It started on Sunday evening. The MLB very wisely a couple of years ago, I can't remember how long it's been now, they used to do the draft like while the season was still going on, while the NCAA season was still going on, or at least the postseason. And it was very similar to like the transfer portal opening while March Madness is still going on, which is still ludicrous to me. Why on earth? Anyway, that's a whole other topic for a whole other day. MLB, I love this, has so wisely said, what if we did our draft during the All-Star break? Bada bing, bada boom. It's perfect. So it started on Sunday with the first 3 rounds. Sunday was the last day of games before the All-Star break. Today, Monday, finishes the draft through round 20. There are 20 rounds in the Major League Baseball draft because you got to fill out all your minor leagues and do all that stuff. And so tonight's the All-Star game, tonight's the Home Run Derby. Tomorrow's the All-Star game. And so it's perfect to work this in right now. Love it, MLB. Anyway, Sunday night was the first 3 rounds. What MLB hasn't got right is like there's all these supplemental rounds and random stuff. It's not just round 1, round 2, round 3. Anyway, Carolina has multiple guys drafted on Sunday evening. As expected, Luke Stevenson goes 35th overall. It's kind of the first round that one of the supplemental rounds is called the competitive balance round A, which technically falls between round 1 and round 2. But it ain't round 2 yet. So I'm calling it round 1. Luke Stevenson, you are a first rounder. And so that's cool stuff. He has fallen a little bit. There were some concerns over his swing and miss issues, the drop in batting average this year. And so, still, most people see Luke Stevenson as, if not the best, which a lot of people do, top 2 catchers in this entire draft. So great stuff from Luke. Very excited for his career. And then a story that is like, this is what transfer portal is intended, like what makes it so great. Now, the truth is, if you can ball, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, whatever, if you can do it at the professional level, they will find you wherever you're at. But it's a lot easier for them to find you at Carolina. And that's the case with Kane Kepley, who comes over to Carolina, transfers in this year along with his coach, who's now still his coach, but not his head coach. And he is taken 56th overall by the Cubs. That's in the second round. Just absolutely crazy stuff to think this time last year. All right, how on earth are we going to replace Honeycutt? I don't know, but we got to do it. Oh, here comes this kid, Kane Kepley. I don't know. Maybe he'll be all right coming over from Liberty. Oh, he's phenomenal. Great at the top of the order in a different way than Vance was, right? But phenomenal in center field. Just a great defensive center fielder like Honeycutt. And so just, man, it was great to have Kane Kepley. There's like that selfish tug where it's like, dang, I want you to get drafted. Dang, I want you to come back. All of that being true. Also kind of a cool thing. We talked about it at the time when Carolina was facing these guys, but Carolina's last regular season series was down at Florida State. And then they faced in the first game of that series, Jamie Arnold, who at the time was like, dude, this is a top 20 pick in the draft. And he goes 11th overall to the A's. Remember that nasty lefty? Carolina beat him. Jake Knapp did not lose this season. And then against Oklahoma, remember Carolina beat up on Oklahoma's the better of the Twins. Remember, they saved him for Carolina, and Carolina scored like 6 in the first inning off Kyson Witherspoon. Well, he goes 15th overall to the Red Sox, meaning Carolina, either late in the season or in postseason, beat 2 different top 15 pitchers. Great stuff. Way to go, Heels. Y'all are dudes. Last bit of news, and then we'll get out of here. Rinky Hijikata, part of Carolina tennis, or was. He's an Aussie, has been killing it at Wimbledon. Wimbledon finals were this weekend. Made it to the men's doubles finals. Unfortunately lost on Saturday, but it was a crazy, like, to get there was awesome. And so that's part of our Project 28, where we're just doing stuff to continue trying to support all 28 Carolina athletics. So Rinky, really proud of you. Congrats. That's awesome. We should try to get him on the show sometime. That'd be really neat. Anyway, you guys, I told you, so many tidbits and nuggets, so much to get to today. A lot of fun. It was great to be back together to kick off a brand new week. Can't wait to be back together with you again tomorrow. We'll talk some NCAA tournament expansion. Coach Pat Kilby and I this week begin our roster preview series. We're going to start with Caleb Wilson. That'll be blast. That'll be Wednesday. Coach Rob will be on Thursday show. I mean, just a great week of shows. Can't wait for you to be part of all of it. One of the best ways to do so is to make sure you're subscribed to the show on video and audio so that you don't miss a second. Another great way to stay involved is become part of the Locked On Tar Heels Discord family, where we're closing in on 550 people in there. Man, it's great. Lots of conversation going on. And if you want to go even deeper, get all the perks of getting free access to my stats and charts and data and record books, one-on-one conversations with me, great way to be even more deeply involved with the show. That link is also in the show notes. We'd love to have you there. Y'all, it's always a great day to be a Tar Heel. We'll talk again tomorrow, but until then, peace.